Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry I'm coming a little bit earlier than our usual scheduled time. I'm in between classes. I teach at a Pilates studio and I'm actually in the closet right now. So anyway, I can't believe it's day 18 and we have 10 days left together. I really hope these meditations are encouraging you and blessing your life. And today we are going to talk about joy. So let's go ahead and start with our grounding exercises. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to settle into our breath, inhaling through the nose. Big exhale out. Empty out the breath. And as you start to regulate your breathing, maybe start to inhale for 4 counts in. Exhale out for 4 counts out. And let's start to connect with our 5 senses. Starting with our eyes. Maybe shifting your eyes to the right or to the left, up and down. Maybe you open your eyes and name 3 or 4 things in the room. Start to listen to what's around you, whether it's loud, whether it's quiet. We're going to start to tap into our inner stillness here. And the smell. What do you smell as you inhale in? We're just getting sensitive with all of our senses here. Starting to connect all of them together down to our taste. Maybe coffee, maybe your toothpaste, maybe breakfast. I just had an orange, so whatever it is that you're tasting, be aware of it. And as you settle in, let's do a quick body scan. Areas in your body that might feel a little tense, a little tight. Bring breath to those areas in the body. And then as you exhale, just try to relax and release. Coming up next, we're going into our intention part of our program. I stands for intention. We're going to take it into our mantra, our mind vehicle. And we're going to slowly let that word marinate and just melt into our bodies from our head to our toes, bringing the word joy into our mind vehicle today. And as you bring the word into the center of your mind, when you think about the word joy, ask yourself, what comes up for you? At this moment, do you feel joy? Do you have joy in your life, in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind? And again, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to suggest to you that joy is not just a feeling from the things that are happening from our circumstances, but joy comes from within, comes from a deep connection and trust in God, in Jesus, in the Holy Spirit, in a higher self, a higher being than ourselves. A trust and a connection to something that we cannot explain, to something that we cannot imagine. And I want you to think about tapping into that joy, supernatural joy. And as you exhale out, maybe some sadness today, maybe some grief, maybe just some turmoil, some anxiety in your life. I'm also here to tell you that joy and all those other things I just mentioned can coexist, that you can still have a deep joy in your heart as you wrestle through different things that are going on in your life. And as we come down to our nose, we're inhaling joy, exhaling out sadness, anxiety, grief, turmoil, conflict. And as we listen, our ears are the gatekeeper, asking ourselves, what do we listen to bring us joy? I love worship music, and I just love listening to audiobooks and sermons and things that are going to fill my cup, things that are going to fill my soul. And I encourage you to do the same. Really find some great resources that are going to lift you up, that are going to inspire you, that are going to encourage you. Fill your cup. And as we come down to our mouth, remember that our mouth speaks life. That even in the midst of turmoil and sadness and grief, that you can speak hope and joy and love and kindness. I love the scriptures that I posted, and it talks about being joyful in hope and patient in our affliction. And all of us are going to be going through life issues. None of us are going to get a pass from that. We're all going to go through life challenges and tribulations and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. But we can still have joy in the midst of that. Ask yourself if you believe that. Can you have joy in the midst of pain? And as we come down to our heart center, I want you to really wrestle with that idea that joy comes from within and happiness comes from our circumstances. When things are good, when things are in line, when you're getting blessings and getting promotions and falling in love and having your firstborn, all of those things bring so much happiness. Those circumstances bring us so much happiness. But joy is deeper than that. Joy is having the perspective to see the good, to see the glass half full, to see the silver lining. There's always a perspective that we can shift and that we can change to bring us joy. And I'm not talking about a fake, oh, everybody's happy and don't worry, be happy and singing Kumbaya. But I'm talking about tapping into the perspective of God Himself, to see with His eyes, to have His understanding, to have His vision and perspective of the big picture. That no matter how bad things get, that you can always work it out for the good, and that joy can come from even the deepest of pain. And as we slowly come down to our core center, our temple, our vessel, as we search and as we connect to the joy that only comes from the Holy Spirit, my prayer for you today is that you are able to tap into that joy, that you're able to connect and find intimacy and find connection with that type of joy that is not normal. It's supernatural. It's not explainable. But again, joy comes from a perspective to be able to see something that nobody else can see, to be able to look beyond the circumstance and see that something good can come out of it. Instead of sitting in the why is this happening? I want us to encourage on the what. What can we do with this challenge? What can we do with this trial? What can we do with this situation that we're going through? And how can we make it be an example to show God's glory? That even in the midst of trials and pain, that we can have joy, that we can have security, that we can stand tall and strong and confident in Him. And as we come down to our reproductive center, I want us to be reminded that this is where multiplication happens. This is where we give birth to new dreams, new desires, new ideas, and that God makes it grow. We find the seed, we plant it, and then God makes it grow. And as we sit here in this place of influence, of leaving a legacy, of making an impact, my prayer is that we are that barometer, that example, that we change the atmosphere in the room because of our joy, that people see our light, that people see our kindness, that people see our peace. And I was thinking about that today as I was working through and planning and preparing for this meditation, and how certain people that have made huge impacts in my life, they did so just by being a good example and modeling what that looks like for me, what it looks like to be a good mother, what it looks like to be a good wife, what it looks like to be a good follower of Jesus, what it looks like to be a great employee or a great entrepreneur or a great business person. Guys, our example matters, and our joy matters. And when you don't think anybody is watching, you're wrong. You are making an influence, whether negative or positive, just with your attitude, just in how you show up. Be intentional and deliberate about how you show up today, not just for other people, but for yourself. Have that integrity with yourself to show up strong for yourself. And as we come down to our feet, walking towards our journey, towards our destiny, let's do it with joy. Let's do it with a great attitude. Let's enjoy the journey, right? It's the cliche. It's not about the end result, but it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. It's about who we become as we get to our destiny. And that's my prayer for you today, is that you are allowing yourself to be molded into the person that you need to become to be able to grasp and take hold of your destiny today. And only you know what that means. What are the areas in your life that God is growing in you so that you can fill the shoes that He has for you to walk in your journey towards your destiny? What kind of daily discipline do you need to attack and conquer. Because our destiny is in the details of our everyday life. What we do every day is what matters. We talked about yesterday about having consistent action, daily discipline, connecting to that, and not resenting that, but being joyful that every single day we're getting stronger. Every single day we have opportunities. Every single day we have choices. And our hands build up, our hands create, our hands continue to caress and encourage and love those around us. Use it wisely. Slowly, as we come all the way back up to our top of our head, we're going to go from our feet, reminding ourselves that our feet are walking towards their destiny, and we're going to do so with joy. And we are going to become the person we need to become in order to take hold of our destiny. Nice big inhale. Settle into the breath. And as we come up to our reproductive center, remembering that we are setting the atmosphere for whatever room we walk into, our example matters. Don't take that lightly. You're influencing those around you, whether you see it or not, whether you ask for it or not. You are a role model. And take that and use it and be deliberate with that call for your life today. And as we come up to our core center, remembering that this is not from our own strength. This is not us white knuckling and making stuff happen. But this is us being obedient to the call of the Holy Spirit. Being connected, being intimate, being obedient to the call, listening so intently, and tapping into that power. And as we come up to our heart center, reminding ourselves that our joy is not circumstantial. It comes from within. It comes from a deeper part of our being, that no matter what happens around us, that we can be joyful. In the scriptures, Jesus said that for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. On his way to the cross, he still had joy because he knew what that cross was going to produce. That cross was going to produce relationships with us, with the people that he loved, the people that he laid his life down for. That's powerful, guys. That's perspective. That's knowing that whatever challenge you're going through right now, it's gonna produce something good. It's gonna produce something that's gonna produce more and more fruit. And as we come to our voice, remembering to speak life, remembering to speak joy and be positive for those around us, pouring into others, encouraging them, being an example. And as you inhale joy, let it permeate throughout your whole body. Train your face, tell your face to smile. And if it's not natural for you, even just give yourself a nice big smile with teeth showing and everything. Exhale it out. We come to our vision part of our program here, where we visualize our dreams. We're manifesting our dreams here. This is our faith map of the direction where we want to go. What does that look like for you? Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? Who's around you? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What are you wearing? Down to every detail. Think about it. Manifest it. Imagine. and claim it as if you've already received it. And slowly, as we end and conclude our meditation portion, reminding ourselves to express gratitude, speaking life to others, spreading that joy, spreading that love, spreading that encouragement, one by one. And one more big collective breath together. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale out. All right, friends, how we doing? I hope that encouraged you today. I hope you are full of joy. Smile, show your teeth, and change the atmosphere in the room. When you walk in, let people know that it's okay to just let it go, just to relax and to know that everything's going to be okay. No matter what you're going through today, my prayer is that you feel God's presence in your life and that you feel connected and that you could just feel a little bit lighter today. So I love you all. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.